Morning. Good morning, probably random. Hope you're doing well. Uh, let's see. Think Discord's acting up a little bit. We'll check. Try. Are you guys able to see it now? Yeah, you should be able to see it now. Okay, we should be all good now on the stream. Let me know if you guys can see the screen or if you can't. Oh, good to see you again too, Probably Random. Life is treating me good. Thank you for asking. How's it on your side? Today we're gonna do some market analysis. Started at 9 a.m. We're gonna look at some of the markets. We're gonna make sure. Let's see. Can we do like a quad? And we'll duplicate the layer, apply to all. Then let me see if this is synced. Yes, it is, but we do not want that because we're gonna put up ES right here. We're gonna put YM right there. We're gonna put RTY right here. Then we can take a look at all of them. Pretty good deal, right? You got into fun it, love giving back something to help others achieve their goals. That's good. That's very nice. If I had trades recently, yeah, a few, honestly. Let me see if I can find them. Last week, I think I took. How many trades did I take? Not a lot, though. Yeah, I traded last week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday had a winning day. Wednesday was a losing day, and Tuesday I took two trades, one winning, one losing. Overall, being a green day, so cannot complain. Not too bad. How about you guys? What's up, Josh? Good morning. Good to see you in here too. Let's also sync the interval. Perfect. So now you guys should be able to see NQ, ES, YM, and RTY. Figured I'd copy Josh a little bit so we can watch all the markets at the same time. So we don't have to miss out on anything. Green is green, exactly. Green is green. And this account has been alive for quite a while, all the way since February, so it's still alive. So that's good. Good morning. Lovely stuff. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm curious to see what we're gonna get today. Gonna first visit it weekly. Just gonna do a little checkup to see where we are at in the markets. Let's see. Okay, so ES, the strongest. Why? Personally, I'd say because it traded the highest up, closed with like one of those candles with a big wick, but it's not a very big down close. NQ, ES, and I'm sorry, YM, um, and RTY, both had pretty significant down close candles. Although I should say RTY is recovering pretty nicely. M1 is it good? M1 as in monthly time frame. We could take a look at the monthly. Pretty nice monthly unicorn on both these two. Not too bad. Yeah, as you can see, ES is like the basically the strongest because it's almost at the opening price. Or YM, sorry. It's the strongest. It's at the opening price, while the others are basically trading below the opening price. So where were we? A daily. So we should go to a 4 hour. Let's put it on auto. Yeah, there we go. So what can we see on the 4 hour? A lot of bearish setups. Yeah, shout out to the whole team for cooking that in the tech department for sure. They cooked with it. Unicorn model is lovely. So what could we expect? We've been going up for quite a while, so it's a correction. Are we due for a correction? We could be. I mean, we have a lot of low resistance liquidity on the downside. So could we see some sort of let me draw. Let me find the tool. Am I blind? Oh, there we go. Some sort of like retracement into this area to then basically trade lower a lag, maybe even add more, and then eventually create like a buy model to sell to go up again. Could be. But at the same time, I'm never fading all-time highs. So once we're like up all the way here, I'm never gonna fade long setups as well. And I'm a little bit more cautious to trading shorts. But that's just me, honestly. If your risk allows it, why not, right? If your model allows it. Let's see, what are you guys aiming for today? Or this week maybe? Yesterday, first net red day in a while. Staying cautious today and going to submit payout. That's nice. That's the goal, right? Let's see, it's the best way always in your experience trading line with higher time frame, which is clearly bullish everywhere. Taking shorts, but caution and slightly low risk seems to work out nicely. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we love that. Spreading the risk. That's what we love to see. I'm gonna mark out those weekly opening prices, by the way, just so we basically have a sense of where we're trading at. Monday, there, there. Is that correct? Yes. This one, and we'll go back to a 1 hour. Yeah, okay. Don't we can kind of see where we're trading compared to the opening price. Maybe trading above it. Um, if you're framing OHLC, could be a sign that we're trading upwards to create like a upper wick. If we are indeed to get like a major correction, or not major, but significant correction. I've got a few minutes left before the open comes up. 15 minutes. Let's see where we're at. So we do have NQ trading to the first R target on a unicorn model. Pretty nice. RTY tapped into the FVG right there, so that's kind of valid on the unicorn. I think ES just okay. It tapped in right here, but it was like in the middle of the night, 10:15 p.m. it seems YM is trying to reach for those highs right there. It's a bit stronger than the rest overall, I'd say. Although that NQ does look nice, to be honest. It already reached this liquidity pool right there. But we do have a different kind of wick right here. 930 from yesterday. So we had like a big spike up on YM. And NQ didn't. It just traded downwards. Okay, makes sense. I do have the settings for all of them basically on neutral. I don't have the auto bias function on. And the invalidation is set to breaker on them. You can either put them on breaker or on swing. When you put the invalidation on breaker, basically what happens is where's my arrow? There we go. This is seen as the invalidation, like the lower point of the breaker, and with the bearish one, it's of course the top. But with swing mode enabled, or swing as invalidation, this swing will be used as the invalidation, which creates a different risk range. So to give you an example, the risk range would be like this if you have it set on breaker. But if it's set to, there we go. If it's set to swing, it will take the entire range from the swing until the breaker. So you have a slightly bigger risk range. So it also leaves some more room for the model to play out. This is a bit stricter, but it'll also mean that your risk to reward projections will be different. So 1R will be up here, and 2R will be up here instead of the 1R we have right now and the 2R that we have there. So keep that in mind when changing the invalidation mode on those. But it's just good to know overall. So for example, if we change this to swing, we also get a different model right here because, and then you can see we almost reached a T2R instead of having the 3R already reached, because it's this very, very small risk range compared to the swing-based one. So I'd suggest just playing around, testing, seeing the data, the difference, back testing it, see what works better for you, because there's a lot of settings that you can change, a lot of stuff that you can alter in order to basically make it your own. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I took 4 trades last week. So let's say, as a market maker model trader, could you share if you go for a specific R per trade rule, or do you play it by ear as price action develops? Honestly, recently, usually I've been going for like a straight 2RR, for example, a specific R within the risk range. So what I mean with that is, let's say, and we'll clean up this chart just for the purpose of the example. I keep losing the marker. Okay, let's say we view this as like a market maker model, right? Where basically, oh, we have the sell side and we have the buy side, right? And we expect this to eventually move all the way right here, right? I want to be able to reach, let's say, a 2RR trade within this range here, right? If it goes like this and I reach 2RR above it, it kind of decreases the likelihood of me reaching my take profit, right? Because we kind of go into no one's land, right? And this I can be kind of sure of, right? But like a random price Right here, I can't be so sure of. In this case, it's 7,500, so we could be a little bit more sure because it's like an institutional level, right? But we'll put that to the side. But at least this is for my experience, right? I feel like when trading into no man's land, so to say, it's harder to guess whether um, we are going for this target, right? Because it could very well, because it's like a very, very large range, right? We could be in a much larger range in play, right? It could, for example, just go all the way up until here and then do like a new leg and then like this, and I never reach my take profit, right? Because I get taken out right here, or I get stopped break even because I usually would go PE if I'm always so close to the target, right? So I'd like to hit the 2RR within this model, right? And then I would be fine. I would just let it run until here. Or even if it's like something like this, for example. Let's say I got in as an example right here, right? I'll be fine with just keeping 2RR and missing out on that last portion. I'd be fine. Because if I know that I can hit the 2RR more often, um, that I could hit, let's say, a 2.7, like the likelihood of me winning is higher, I'll take that, right? Because I prefer a slightly higher win rate compared to a higher risk to reward. But that's just me. That's just personal preference. Some people would prefer to trade, let's say, on a 30% win rate, but a very high RR model, right? And both are fine. You're quite aligned with yourself, mostly sticking with 2RR unless it's a perfect clear runner target. So many traders fear they need more than 2RR to get payouts, and it's actually not the case. Yeah, it also depends, right? Because like for me, it's also the range we're trading in, right? If it's a very small range, let's say this is like only a few points, then I'm able to put more contracts on, right? Which allows me to basically be like, okay, I can take off a certain percentage of contracts and then leave like one or two contracts running, right? But if the risk range or if the range of the price action is much larger, and I'm only able to put on, let's say, two contracts, I'm not gonna take out only 50% at 2R because it means I'm only taking home 1R to then basically gamble the other R for another one, right? So I'm either going home with 1 or 3, for example, right? Or either going home with 1R or 2.7, right? I'd rather just take the 2, right? Because it's only a 0.7 increase compared to a -1 decrease on my win, right? So that's kind of the math I have in my head as to why I would rather close at full on 2R when I only have like a low amount of contracts. Because I'm not only risking the actual contract, but also the profits that I'm basically playing out, right? I will. I'm recording. I've been recording since 9 a.m. So I'll make sure to post it on YouTube. YouTube afterwards for sure. I'm not into this trade, by the way. For everyone that, if anyone just joined, it was just an example. Let's see. So we do have SMT divergence right now because NQ took out the high. ES has yet to reach it. YM has yet to reach it, and RTOI also traded above it significantly. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see the charts properly with the banner as well. I think it's fine. Otherwise, I can always make it slightly, can adjust it a little bit. Let's see, right here. Then, there we go. Now you should be able to see all the charts fully. Looking and sounding great, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see. So, who in here has already got access to the unicorn model? Though I'm wondering, has anyone used it yet? taking you have. Yeah, you're Elite Collection subscriber, so you do have access to it. So that's good. Do we have a unicorn model video of explanation? I believe Juno, the collaborator that we made the indicator with, has one. Let me find it for you. Give me 1 second. Because he does have a video. Well, let me tell you this. We even have a whole playlist. What's up, man? Good to see you in there. I can confirm we're not gambling. Wait, I think I sent the wrong link. I sent it to the actual video instead of the playlist. This is the right one. Oh, it should lead you to the playlist. Okay, good. So we got what? 7 more minutes until the markets opens. Okay, I'm gonna do a little poll. Where are we going? You guys got 5 minutes. Are we gonna go up or are we gonna go down? Let's see what everyone thinks. Let's see who's right, who's wrong. You can vote A or B. A for up, B for down. Let's see what everyone thinks. And you're only able to vote once, so you can't vote multiple times, of course. I think you can switch votes, but yeah, I think you're able to switch votes, but not yeah, well, not vote on both, of course. Let's see, we have 2 votes on down, 3 votes on up. 1 hour looks bearish. I kind of agree with you on that. It does not look the best. If we're looking at the entire range, the whole story about, creating an upper wick, trading into like the premium end of this range and then, moving lower. It's something that's possible for sure. Let's see, you're looking, in addition to the indices, you're looking at GBP USD. Lovely bullish action so far. Some nice low liquidity run potential later if we get a decent smart money reversal. Let me take a look at GBP USD really quick to see what you're up to. Oh, wow. That's pretty nice. So we've been, moving up since the Asian session in an open and just move up. It's a pretty nice unicorn model that we had with a nice step in right before the end of the London session right there. All the way to the 2R. You have to say NQ is a little bit choppy on the 5 minutes. It also gave off both a bearish and a bullish unicorn model. Doesn't really pick a direction. But it's for almost all of them, I'd say. RTY and ES are also like moving sideways. Not the biggest fan of that. Only YM is actually choosing a direction and it's really, really moving up nicely. Which time frame is suitable for the unicorn model? Basically, all of them are suitable because it's a specific mechanical framework to frame breaker setups that align with fair value gaps, right? So it's suitable for every time frame, dependent on what your personal preferences are, the way you trade, what you trade also depends on it, right? If you're a swing trader, uh, let's say which work efficiently. All of them. It depends on the situation as well. If you trade futures prop firms, for example, you're not going to be trading it on a 1 day time frame, right? But if you trade, let's say, personal capital on a CFD account, for example, you can hold it for long term. So it also depends on your personal situation. Um, if you trade it intraday, anywhere from a, let's say, 1 minute to 1 hour or 50 minutes should be fine. If you trade inter-session, you're going to probably be looking at lower time frames, such as a 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Maybe we get a reversal on indices, then go higher today. You always get excited for the open, and it still gets you buzzing, even though you're some London trader most days when price action allows. Nice. Are you in a suitable time zone to trade during London? I mean, I am. I'm able to basically see London and New York. When I wake up, it's London, and then afternoon, New York. But I go to the gym in the morning, so I'm not actually behind the chart during the London session. Basically, usually check it out whenever I get home and when I'm at the charts around, what is it, 9 a.m. New York time? UK. Oh, yeah, it's like 1 hour difference. I'm 1 hour ahead of you. But it's good. It's a good time frame or time zone to trade both. So 9:30 opens like 2:30 p.m. for you. Let's see. It's 50-50. 3 people vote up, 3 people voted down. Let's see. We're about to see in like what, 20 seconds? No, 5 seconds. So now we already can see that the NCs all got like a up close candle in the last 5 minutes, with YM still being the strongest all of them. And I'd say ES as the second one. Let's move to a 1 minute time frame to basically be able to see it a little bit better. Oh, this is nice on RTY. That's gonna run. Yeah, same for ES. I know probably Josh is already looking at the 30-second opening range to see how we're interacting with that. Look at that. Whereabouts are you in Europe? Across the sea from you, in the Netherlands. So basically, we're neighbors, I'd say. Let's see, what's RTY gonna go up to? Oh, I think I've typed in for 55 minutes, but let's see. That's running up nicely. NQ isn't really doing anything. ES also isn't. I think YM is also gonna go for the liquidity pools up here, most likely. Yeah, they're running in opposite directions. So we got SMT divergence right now, as YM created a higher high, NQ created a lower high, ES also higher high, and RTI also higher high. So NQ basically is the lagging pair at this point. Let's take a look at the regular trading hour perspective. Well, I gotta switch those for every single one of them. All of them have got a bullish gap up. Yeah, for sure, Norman. I will definitely post it to YouTube afterwards. Well, well, well. That's what I call a nice trade. You're back on the 15 seconds, aren't you? I thought you kind of switched from the seconds charts and you were back into 1 minute, 5 minute territory. That's lovely, honestly. Very lovely. Right. Let's go back into the electronic trading hours. You're gonna regret closing it. Nah, you shouldn't regret closing it, honestly. You took a good trade, you took a good trade, right? That's nice. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check if I'm okay. No, we should be good. No. Rebalancing 25%. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean that's good, right? If you have like one contract open, just take it out at like the basically low hanging fruit. Take your money and go. Let's see. Okay, so this one got invalidated also at the swing, like with what? 0.25? Going to bounce. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Congrats on the great trade. And we'll see you soon. Bye bye. All right. So what could we expect now? Are we going to see a continued run down on NQ or are we going to see a recovery? We did take out sell side liquidity right here. We left kind of equal highs right there. As you can see, we barely tapped the liquidity pool. We just went over a little bit. So it could be the case. Let's see. So there's no imbalance printed on this left side. A small one here, which means we got a inverse fair value gap, but I'd say the other ones are pretty bullish, so we could see this as a liquidity sweep to then move up higher. Curious to see. Let's check that daily gap that Josh was talking about. Just like right here indeed. Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. I mean, it looks good on this part, right? This whole leg here, though, kind of bearish. So we should have to monitor how it's working inside this one right here. We'll make it red because red is bearish, course. And then we'll move back to a 1 minute and we'll see. Let's focus on NQ for a while now. And then we could always put on the graded zones right here. Get it right. There we go. And I basically want to see it close above this one, move up here, close above it, move up here, close above it. Oh no, I'm reading it. There we go. Close above this one as well. Let's see. Kind of looking for that though. We're gonna also. Oh no, my chart got extended a little bit. There we go. Then we'll put this back here. We're gonna put on the fractal model and the liquidity depth, just so we can get some more information in here. There we go. This is interesting to see. If we close up above here, we're gonna get a potential C2 candle where we sweep this, and then we'd want to look for a continuation higher. That'd be interesting to see if we get that. Because we did take out all the liquidity from down here, which is basically pre-market liquidity from 8 a.m. 6:40. We only left this one from 6 a.m. intact, but that's fine. Then we'll also enable it for the other ones. Let me put back the unicorn back on, fractal model back on. We'll copy fractal over here. Bang. Then we can see both perspectives. So we already have a very, very bullish one on RTY, which already completed, expanded way above the 4.5 level. So we don't have to look at that one anymore. YM nothing. And oh, we don't have a fractal model here yet. There we go. It's probably also going to be a, yeah, bullish C2. There we go. Perfect entry right there, though, after 9:30 open, inside the fractal model T-spot right there. That's pretty. That's really nice. With a unicorn, I'd say this is probably going to be setup of the day in my eyes. Let me put the data table in the middle. Otherwise, it's a bit crowded. Middle right. There we go. I said that's perfect because you basically have the liquidity sweep right there. You got a unicorn that's set up right here with a fair value cap. It's pretty hard to see, but let me just zoom in a little bit. There. You got the unicorn, you got the C2 CSD, you got double SMT basically right here, but this one only confirmed afterwards, right, with the 30 or 9:30 open. But still, that's pretty good. Pretty nice setup. Was anyone able to catch this? NQ, kinda ugly. The ugly duckling of them all. We did retrace into the IFEG right there. I think it plotted. Yeah, there we go. Perfect retracement into it, but I'm not sure if it's gonna hold, honestly. Let's see where Russell's at. Russell's moved up pretty far. That's pretty nice to see. It's like a straight expansion upwards. Love that. And the S might also be headed towards the range heights we have up here. Honestly. Let's see. It's all the way up there. So the original thesis we put out for my example trade might be still in play. Who knows? Let's see. You got a lot of the bullish move on YM from the magical 345 Q3. Runner went for RR and then closed as it's more than enough for you. Hey, that's good. Let's see. So ES almost at the liquidity pool that we looked at. It's 4.75 points away. And then we have NQ. NQ is where? Let's see that same liquidity pool on NQ. We already took it out, of course. It's a 1 hour swing. So I'm going to be looking at ES because that's the one that has a target. So I want to be seeing what that one does. I think we're going to hit it though. Would be nice. Pretty nice, honestly, to frame this from the T-spot. That's pretty nice. That's very, very lovely. This week I've seen a lot of one-day distribution step map action, extreme level of price action this week so far. Yeah, I haven't added the step map yet. Oh, look, we got a bullish unicorn now. And the bullish C2. So we got a double setup again with SMT on ES and YM. That's going to be interesting to watch. Let's move this open. So if we have got a lot of momentum, most likely it's not going to tap into it again, or it might, because if we close here, we get a fair value gap here again. We could tap into it, activate the unicorn model, and then just move upwards. Would be interesting. Would be a nice move. Let's see. And we got the C4 coming in. Let's see if ES want to go for it. There we go. It's almost there. I think it's gonna take it in like a few seconds. Yeah, there we go. Liquidity pool. That's nice. So now this one has got their target. Let's see. These ones are just moving for like the, I don't know, God knows where. Let's see what YM is up to. Almost at liquidity pool. So we still got that same liquidity pool that NQ has already reached. And ES just reached. We took that right here, but YM still has the one all the way up here. I'm gonna try to anchor it perfectly. There we go. We still got, oh no, still got that one ready for ES. So, oh, that's the wrong one. I think this one does have stat map though. Yeah, there we go. We reached the daily liquidity level or distribution. That's nice to see. Love it. Perfect. So we got the liquidity sweep plus the expansion higher, just as we were looking for, or what we were looking for. I love that. Let's see. This week I've seen a lot of daily distribution step map action, extreme level of price action this week so far. Yeah, it's pretty good. Lovely. Honestly, lovely. So we didn't get a tap into the unicorn. That's fine. We did get the C2 confirmed. And now we're in C3. Also didn't tap into the T spot. But it's kind of expected whenever the market finally like chooses a side and starts to run, especially when these other assets are already moving up without any retracements. It's expected if they are gonna follow, that they're not gonna offer any like basic opportunity like that. ES doesn't really want to go for it, and Q2. Interesting. Let's see. We'll put this on the middle as well. Yeah, these are some very, very nice targets, honestly. Finally, we do have some like very good price section on a day that I'm streaming. Usually when I'm streaming, it's like, I don't know, Marcus just don't want to cooperate with me. So I'm happy to see this. Some nice price section to look at. Last few times I streamed, I think we had like boring consolidating price section where we just moved sideways. Look at that. YM is actually going for it. There's a few points left. 31. So SatMap is your key tool. That's good, man. Love that. The statistical framework you can generate with that is crazy. Offers so many insights. So for now, when targets are reached, basically like I said, I don't really care anymore where it goes. Could go up, could go down, could go sideways, could go left, right, up, down, back and forth. I don't really mind anymore. Because I just look for like the pieces of the pie that I know can be mine, and I just take those. It's a beautifully aligned and synced price action now on the indices. Lovely price. Yeah, I love it. When the indices are synced, it's honestly my favorite. It's then they just move in line and like because when they're not synced, I just hate the fact that it I don't know, it just you get ugly price action on some of them, right? Could be that like if NQ was like gonna move opposite to the other ones today, we'd have seen like terrible price action on it, just going sideways or slowly grinding down, trying to go up again, repeating the same thing. But now we're actually reaching targets, so that's good. Hope that anyone that took trades, they were able to get some nice ones in for sure. Right. Let's see if we have a few more questions before we're gonna round up the stream soon. If anyone has questions about either price action, me, or indicators or whatnot, Right. I think I'm gonna round up. Let's see. Oh, there's a few people typing. Let's wait here. How to use how to trade using fractal model? Yeah, for sure. Good question. So basically, and it's always best, of course, to just check out T Trades, honestly, because he has the best explanation. It's his model. Um, but I'll do my best. Let me disable the unicorn and we'll keep the focus on the fractal. Basically, the base premises of the fractal model is that you're looking for a swing formation, right? We'll put aside the indices for now. You're basically looking for a swing formation of 3 candles. Let me create this one with a wick. Let's put the wick in black too. Then you want a second candle. Let's say this one's right here. It's going to be a green candle. It's going to be a bullish situation, right? And you want to see, basically, you want to see this second candle sweep the liquidity sell side of the previous one, right? And that opens up the possibility for a third candle to come in that does not trade lower than this one, but trades anywhere inside the range of this, right? And you kind of want to target as a first the liquidity, the buy side liquidity, that's all the way up here, right? So basically, this becomes your entire range of opportunity, right? C1 is the candle that sets the initial liquidity. C2 is the candle that basically creates the change in state of delivery that shifts to the upside and sweeps the previous candle. C3 is the candle where we usually want to start executing inside of, or C4, right? If we are executing inside C3, we'd preferably, it doesn't matter what candle. It could be daily, it could be 4 hour, it could be 1 minute for who cares, right? Because that's what the fractal model is all about, the fact that it's fractal. Um, Ideally, you want to position yourself anywhere inside this wick, right? That's your ideal opportunity. Could also be inside the candle, but you know, you want to position yourself either in here or in here at the start, and then you kind of try to ride the expansion higher towards this, right? So let's say you're in from you're not inside candle 3, and let's say, oh, this is C3, and we'd always expect a C4 to come in and basically do a continuation move, right? And you could also expand or enter inside C4. Well, what does that look like on a lower time frame? I'll show you. So basically, what we have here, right here, that's this candle right here. Let me just mark it. The green one is this down close candle, right? Where we set a low. And then the next candle, this one right here, sweeps it, right? So you get here the blue line, which is the CSD. And usually you'd wait until C2 is closed, which is this candle, right? And then within C3, we have the C spot open up, which is the opening price all the way until here. Ideally, you want to see price come back below this, but it could, right? But it's not a hard rule, but ideally, you don't want to see it happening. So you try to position yourself inside the T spot or inside the candle right here, and then you try to ride it all the way until the next logical point of exit, which in this case would be the liquidity pool right here, but we already took it right at 9:30, right? So in this case, I personally would align myself with the higher time frame, which would be the liquidity pool up there, right? And then you have a C4, and in this case, we already took out the buy side liquidity, so I personally wouldn't look for a continuation move. Yeah, so a lot of the time you'll see C3 and C2 fill, but it's because you also have to not just blindly trade a C2 or C3 just because it's a C2 or C3, right? You also have to align it with like the higher time frame, right? So, for example, right, I'm looking at the fact that we've made all this down move right here, took liquidity there, and then moved all the way up, 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 grinding sideways. and then we're stopping right below a liquidity pool right there, for example. Well, let's just take ES as an example because we also have the fractal model enabled in there. Right, same thing. You grind higher slowly, 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 slowly. And basically, price action has been bullish right here, right? So you kind of want to go from internal to external, right? So it's back to basics. We set a high, we set a higher low. What's next in line? Especially when we start moving up, you expect a higher high, right? You find the fractal model inside here, and then you trade aligned with the overall higher time frame bias. You don't trade against it, but you trade with it, right? If you're trading against it, it's fine, but you need to be very careful, right? Like overall, are we bullish or are we bullish, right? Oh, that's for G4H. See, everything is pretty bullish. We had a pretty significant down move right here, but we also took out liquidity, right? As you can see right here, we had a CSD, but retraced back into it. It's the same like internal, external play all over again, right? Where we, what is it? We set a higher high, we fail, we set a lower low, lower high, lower low. What could be next, right? We want to retrace back into internal, right? So we do expect a move up, right? Could be anywhere in here. What's next? Either we move back down again, we continue this trend, or we start reversing, and then we play the same game. Where were we? Right? We move like this. And then we can just write the up moves all over again. And these would just be market maker buy models. Risk to reward for fractal models very, I'd say it depends on what the setup is, right? Because every setup's going to be different. Every one of them is going to give you a different amount of points. Every one of them is going to offer you a different setup or target. So it's really dependent. And I'd say the best way to know is honestly just backtesting, right? Backtesting is a perfect tool to just gather data, just to get a large amount of data to be able to judge if a specific model is going to be profitable or not, right? Because if you just slap on the indicator and try to trade every single fractal model you're going to see, you're not going to be profitable, right? You're not going to make money on that. I can guarantee you. Because you need to understand the underlying conditions as to when you're going to trade that setup, right? Because it just gives you the setup because it's a mechanical framework, right? But then you also are able to fine tune it by either changing the settings, right? Using the bias modes, that kind of stuff. And that will alter the results. Tomorrow, Josh is going to be live. So I'd ask him about the fractal model. I'm not sure if he uses it on his charts, but I think so. But I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, that's a little thing about the fractal model. Also, if you want to know more, I do have a video about it. Let me find it for you. I have multiple videos about the fractal model actually. I'm going to grab them for you. So, okay, this is the first one. It's a detailed trade breakdown. Then we have another detailed trade breakdown right there. And then I have a explanation video right here. These are all made by me, so you hear the same guy, same voice as here, so to say. And there, in those first two videos, I basically explain how to use the fractal model alongside the higher time frame, right? Because I always align stuff with the higher time frame because that's the overarching bias that I'm looking at. So make sure to watch those two because they're very simple videos. They take about 3 to 4 minutes each, so it's not too long. And explain the entire trade that we took. Yeah, and if you're not subscribed to the YouTube yet, make sure to. Thank you too, Chloe Random. Yeah, I'm gonna run up the stream too. Thanks everyone for being in here, for asking questions, participating. Really, really appreciate it. I hope to see you all next Thursday again. That's when I'm gonna be live again. Probably gonna be the market analysis again, so it's gonna be fun. Hope we're gonna have a nice day in the charts then too. And then I'll see you guys next week. Make sure to tune in tomorrow because Josh is going to be live tomorrow with a market analysis. So yeah, have a nice day, everyone.